So in my life, I've caught 3 different flights to 3 different countries for 3 completely different romances. I bring this up because so many of you have asked me my thoughts on the finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Now look, people, I think you all know I did not like that show. It's not made for me, right? And that's fine. But like, I found some fun in it, and you didn't bully me into it. You asked me to watch it, and I watched it because I like giving you guys what you want. Now the finale still very much leans into some silliness that I just don't care about. I get it, Jeremiah wants to cook. I don't care, right? That boy can't act. And I find looking at some of them in their suits doing their big boy jobs, they all look 12 years old. They look like rugrats and dressing up like parents. I don't buy into it. But I gotta say, watching Conrad land in a different country to go after Belly, that hit. That hit. They did that well. They did that accurately, and it made me feel like I felt in all of those 3 different plane journeys, all of those 3 different landings, and all of those 3 different romances. I've been there. That mix of like delusional hope, but also a bit of expectant regret. Like, you know, it's not going to go well. It's a weird cocktail of insecurity and wishfulness and fear and inevitability. And it's the sense that you're walking into a life that just doesn't belong to you anymore. I felt that 3 times. And all 3 times it ended differently. My first trip was to Barcelona. It was a woman who I'd had a brief dalliance with on a job. It shouldn't have happened, but after it ended, we kept up these late, long, night phone calls, and I had to kind of persuade her, but eventually she was like, look, if you were here, I wouldn't be mad about it. I wouldn't be unhappy. So I took a flight, and I saw her across the road as she was coming out of her job, and that was the moment. Like, it hit me like a brick. That same cocktail that I see in Conrad's face when he sees Belly coming down off the bike, that moment where you don't know if you're about to be lost or found by a person, and it's euphoric, it's terrifying, but it's also unforgettable. The second time I flew, that was for my ex. She had surprised me at a show about a year before, just after I'd broken up with her, and I was quite a good, ex-boyfriend. I was quite good at just being a person's friend. And so, about a year later, when things are a little bit more complicated, I'm like, well, I'll do the same for her, right? That would be beautiful. That would be romantic. No, it was not. That was Conrad at dinner. Watching Conrad watch Belly, watch all of her friends. Yeah, man, that felt reminiscent of something I had experienced before. Like, it's a very specific ache where you feel yourself watching outside something that you used to belong to. Now, the third was New York. I flew from London to New York to see a woman that I'd met 6 years earlier. Now, I met this woman when I was still with the previous ex. It stayed platonic, but it was clear we were bonded. We just connected so well immediately. When she'd found out I'd broken up with my partner, she said, if you're ever in New York, you have a place to stay. And she meant it. I knew she meant it. So I booked a flight. 6 years after we first met, I showed up. The next morning, we wake up in each other's arms. It was beautiful. We spent 10 days together and decided we should be together. Be a couple. Crazy, I know. But deep down, I knew it was impossible, and when I came back, the magic had faded. She'd quit her job, and we spent every single second together, and it just didn't work. And that's the thing. Sometimes a fantasy has to be lived, even if you know it can't last, and that's what I think that show does really well towards the end. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Conrad and Belly. I don't believe they'll survive what has happened. But I recognize the dream. I remember that younger, more wistful version of myself, and I have to say, that person who was willing to throw caution to the wind looks around at the world and says, where are the rest of you? What happened to everybody? There's more trepidation now, more caution, more fear. All understandable, but still a little bit sad. I'll give them this. The finale made me feel something, somehow. I think when a show can hold up a mirror to the aching nature of love, that's a job well done. I still think it's a silly show, and I'm annoyed you all made me watch it, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.